Welcome back to Level-Headed Gamer. My name is Joseph, and just a couple of days ago, we got to see almost 4 hours of Biomutant gameplay from PewDiePie's stream. There was a bunch of new things we got to learn from this footage, and I came away excited at what I saw. Starting with your character actually doesn't talk, but there's a narrator that guides the story along, accompanied by flashbacks that explore your character's younger days and serving as tutorial to many systems in the game, as well as a narrative device. It gave me this kind of fable or magical like quality to the game. I thought of two games automatically: Jade Empire, if anybody played it, with the kung fu and the mystical world, or Fable, with the way that Experiment 101 decided to tell their story. But it stands out with its fantastic aesthetic and cool creature and world design. But right from the start, you're introduced to a morality system in the game, as the player can choose between the light and dark aura that have this little funny conversation interaction between each other, and it's going to determine your relationship with other NPCs, tribes, and eventually the final ending of the game, which automatically reminded me of Mass Effect with its Renegade and Paragon system, or any BioWare game as a matter of fact, and I think they were a major inspiration for this game in many ways. We see an example of that later on in the stream, where aligning yourself with a Dark Aura tribe, you get a mission to attack an outpost of a rival tribe, granting you with a friendly tribe-specific weapon upon completion of that quest. Not to mention, outposts become populated with friendly inhabitants and become a busy, bustling town. However, if you take over the enemy tribe's whole region, you eventually face the leader and you can earn their specific weapon as well. But if you like, you can switch alliances, giving you the freedom of approaching this game as you like, and I really appreciated that it kind of keeps a more simple approach to its mission design and gives you the opportunity to switch at any point that you want. It doesn't try to make this game overly complex. Not to mention, you get to explore a beautiful world, and you don't have to do it all on foot. You'll have the ability to tame and acquire mounts, you'll get vehicles, and you'll get accessories as well, like gliders, that you can move about the world and get your traversal to be a little bit more fun. Not to mention the side paths we've seen and dungeons to explore and loot to find. I thought it was all kind of awesome combination in this game with a very old school design philosophy that I really like. And it has something I love a lot, are some puzzles. Now, we've seen the developers talk about this, like the way the world's gonna look and it's gonna have puzzles, but for some reason I was afraid the world wouldn't feel alive or maybe a little boring to explore. But from what I've seen, I admit I am totally wrong. Not to mention, I love the map design that kind of just shoots up into the sky and you see the world from the top view. It's not some kind of drawn-on map. Combat, we also got a better look at with its dodging, parrying, and John Woo diving, this kind of fast-paced mixing ranged and melee, and mutations, or what this game's version of spells and powers is. We know now we can get mutations, our powers, through defeating enemies called Morks and collecting a resource called Bioblobs, which can also be found in certain containers, and utilizing that currency will give you the option to various abilities. And when you level up, not only will you be able to level up your stats 10 points at a time, but you'll have an access to various abilities and perks as well to improve your character. I'm not going to go into every single detail, because if you really want to see all those things, you can go see the video and I'll link it down below, but I just wanted to give you kind of the general gist of the new things that were announced, especially if you want to stay in the spoiler-free territory, along with weapon-specific special attacks and the ability to dual wield or even dual wield guns or 2 melee weapons, and the weapon and armor mods you can equip, as well as you can start seeing how the complexity of this game's systems really come into play. Not to mention, crafting is going to be a huge part of this game. It seems to be quite in-depth. You will literally have the ability to construct weapons piece by piece, switch various parts out, and create weapons with the properties that fit your playstyle, and as well as have the ability to create and upgrade your armor as well if you find it out in the world. You can even have up to 5 loadouts which you can switch on the fly to fit the situation. It's also nice to see that there's no auto health regen, forcing you to use consumables to keep you on your toes. And all these things in combat and how it felt, the more I watched, the more it grew on me, I gotta be honest with you guys. All of these elements combined, it looks like a solid effort from a smaller studio to do something that's not necessarily the most unique game, but a game with a lot of soul in its own voice. It looks like to be it's going to be a game with loads of replayability from its character archetypes and classes, as well as the choices we get to make out in the world, without becoming overly complex. Again, harkening back to those old school BioWare days where they couldn't do any wrong. But I'd love to hear from you guys and gals excited for this game. What particular thing gets you the most excited? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe down below for more Biomutant and other gaming content on this channel. Guys, make sure to enjoy the rest of your day and peace out.